His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu ayongedde okuteeka akazito ku Museveni, agamba nti entambula ze zaddamu okutandika n'olunaku olw'enkya era zaakukunga bannayuganda kuzuukuka beerwanirire. Agamba Museveni tagenda kumutiisatiisa, ebyo bateekateeka mbu baagala omukolako obulabe mu ntambula zino. Agamba nti bali ku byabwe beerimba kubanga entalo za Museveni zaasomose nnyingi. Okuva olunaku lwe yalangirira nti agenda kwesimba ku kifo ky'obwa pulezidenti, Museveni yatandika okumulwana entalo, ng'entalo si za kulwana nti oba za bigambo, wabula nga ye Museveni alwana ntalo za kuggyawo His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. N'agamba nti olaba yamulemererwa mu kaseera ako n'atamuggyaawo, tagenda kumutiisatiisa lwaleero. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu agambye okuva lwe yatandise okutambula eggwanga tagenda kuddirira kubanga ebyo byemutiisatiisa nti bagenda kumutta, bagenda mukolako obulumbaganyi, tebigenda muyigula ttama bwe baba baagala bakole kye bawulira kye baagala. Ye omulimo gwe gwa kulwanirira munnayuganda era y'ensonga lwaki asaze okutalaga eggwanga Uganda, ajjukize bannayuganda omulimo nabo gwe balina okukola okulaba nga beereetera obuwanguzi bwe baagala, kubanga teri muntu agenda kukuleetera buwanguzi ku mmeeza nga tosituse kwenyigiramu. Kati akunga bannayuganda nti okulaba nga Uganda etereera tukize we tugyagala kikwakatako ffeffe nnyininyini okwerwanirira, tukyekwatiremu, tuleme kulinda bulinzi nti omuntu gundi ne gundi ajja tulwanirire, kubanga kyangu nnyo ekya Uganda okukyuka n'eva mu mikono gya Museveni, naye abanaaba bagirwaniridde bwe tutaaba ffe bantu ba wansi, abanaagirwanirira nabo bajja kwagala okwefuula nga Museveni balemere mu ntebe nga bagamba nti balwanirira kintu kyabwe. Naye tubeera bannayuganda nga ffe nnyini ffe tukyekwatiddemu, era kitegeeza nti obuyinza buba mu mikono gyaffe okugamba nti ffe tununudde Uganda eno, tusazeewo tulonde omukulembeze gundi atukulembere. Bw'akola ebitajjansa era naye tuba tulina obuyinza obumujja mu ntebe. Kitegeeza nti constitution eba eteekebwamu ekitiibwa. Bw'eba constitution ewandiikiddwa, tuba baddembe okugoberera constitution neba ng'ekola ekyo kye yeeteekeddwa okukola, ng'egamba nti obuyinza bukyusibwa bantu. Kitegeeza buba bulina okukyusibwa era nga buva mu bantu, nti pulezidenti ateeka okukulembera ekisanja oba kimu oba bibiri, ekyo kye kiba kirina okubeera. So si bino ebya Mwami Museveni bye yajja nga tugamba nti agenda kukulembera Uganda emyaka 4 gyokka, aleke bannayuganda balonde omuntu omutuufu gwe baagala abakulembere. Eyatusuubiza emyaka 4, olwaliro ayagala kuyingira myaka 40. Kitegeeza nti yali ategeeza 4 lwakuba yeezira eno yagirekayo n'atulimba 4. Naye kakati bw'abanga ayagadde okuyingira emyaka 4, anaage bw'agamalako atali mu kuteekateeka omutabani naye atukwatemu, ekyo kye tutagenda kukkiriza nga bannayuganda, kubanga wandowooza nti omutabani oba yanditukuttemu nga taata atufuze bulungi, ne tugamba nti okuba obulungi bwa taata osanga n'omwana anaafaananako kitaawe. Naye nali mu kutugumula obutugumbuzi bannayuganda, ono ali mu kubba obubbi eggwanga Uganda, kakati tunaba tusanyusa ekyokugamba nti n'omwana we naye kaatukulembereko. Kyova olaba bannayuganda ke kaseera tuzuukuke, bannayuganda ke kaseera tukwatire wamu twegobeko essajja, tuleete omuntu anaasobola okulembera Uganda okugiteeka we tugyagala, tugifunemu emirembe nga buli omu agyenyumiririzaamu.
A sense of shame that is hovering over the regime. But most importantly, after Museveni's massacre in November 2020, and after the constant hounding of the opposition, abductions and killing of the people, we took Museveni, his son, and those around him to the International Criminal Court with more than 200 pieces of evidence tendered in. And we are still putting more evidence together. So Museveni knows that the international community is watching him, and this is the community that has been funding him to continue his misrule over the people of Uganda, to continue his regime of blood and national shame. So he is aware that he's a candidate for the ICC. He knows what happens. So he probably is trying to behave himself in order to tone down on the pieces of evidence that are coming, to add on the petition that we put up against him. Probably that is why we've been able to move peacefully so far. Like I said, we are always peaceful, and it only gets messy when the police messes it up. Coming back to the so-called military stores that they claim we have, they've raided our offices many times, stolen our berets, while every other person is putting on berets, including them, the NRM tried to copy our beret and they made them in yellow. Apparently for them, it's okay to put on berets, but not us. All this they are doing because they are trying to look for any reason to arrest, torture, and incarcerate our supporters. Berets, none of them has been convicted. You know, all of them have been tortured, incarcerated for lengthy time, some years, but they've been released. So, it's another excuse. It comes out of fear. Yeah.
The Electoral Commission has issued its roadmap for the 2026 general election. I would want to find out from you, I'm sure you've read it. Does it answer the questions that were left during the 2021 general elections?
It doesn't answer any question. We are not so bothered by the Electoral Commission's roadmap because you know what? One of the reasons why they issued that roadmap was probably for them to ensure that the people of Uganda go past the 2021 rigged election. We have not gone past that election. We won that election and we continue to, to call out the regime for having rigged that election. But this national tour also is to show the people of Uganda what they missed when that election was rigged. We had a program, which program we continue to highlight, a program of a return to democracy, return to civilian rule, a program of a revampation of the economy, an absolute fight and crushing of corruption, which corruption General MUSEVENI has been the chief priest of, and many other things that I cannot in very quick minutes, detail. But we are moving around the country, showing them what they missed when the election was rigged, and reminding them that it is going to continue like that if they don't firmly put their feet down. We are not campaigning for the election because if we had another election under these circumstances, it wouldn't be any difference. We are telling the people of Uganda that nobody else is going to give them a free and fair election but themselves. They must be firm, put their feet down. We are working locally and internationally, knowing that when the international community finally distances itself from MUSEVENI, like it's clearly beginning to, then we will be dealing with a much more weakened MUSEVENI, and our effort to make him fall will be easy.
Mr. Chagulanyi, are you coming back in 2026?
The question should be, are you here now? And I will say yes.
Are you going to contest for the 2026 general election?
We've not looked at 2026 yet. We are looking at now because we want MUSEVENI to fall now. We want to change the circumstances now. We want the factors to change fundamentally now. So, talking about 2026 is telling our people to relax and wait for 2026, and that would be immoral, that would be wrong. We want to deal with now so that we have, some success even before 2026. If it reaches, it must reach with a very, very weakened MUSEVENI or a destroyed MUSEVENI.
But many think with this broad tours that you're taking out, it's one of the strategies. You're trying to position yourself.
Everybody has a right. Everybody has a right to think the way they think. But you ask me because you want to hear what I'm saying. I'm not positioning myself. I am positioned already. Rita, you're interviewing the guy who defeated MUSEVENI. I was elected by the people of Uganda. So if it was going for another election, I know I would beat MUSEVENI or anybody very easily because we've beaten them before. So I'm not campaigning to be voted. I was voted. I am pushing this campaign of reawakening and self-assertion so that the people of Uganda can be able to defend their will. Not just to take them into an election when they are a weakened population. We have to have a vibrant and fired up population.
Mr. Chagulanyi, how will these Ugandans reawaken their will? Many of them are struggling financially.
Yeah.
We just have a week or two for children to go back to school. Many of them have no school fees. Many of them can't even afford food. They can only eat once a day. And with the World Bank decision to not lend more money to Uganda, it has left many of the people panicking. What solutions do you have for the Ugandans who are struggling financially, economically, and a country like Uganda where we are bleeding? We have no money. The country is broke. Ugandans are broke. Maybe for you,
it is that brokenness. It is that brokenness that emboldened the people of Tunisia to kick away the dictator. It's that brokenness that emboldened and annoyed the people of Sudan and many other places to kick away their dictators. I want the people of Uganda to be angry and to have resolve. That is when they are going to do what they must do. We want the people of Uganda to charge up, to be angry, to get annoyed, to get uncomfortable about the situation, you know. So that is a factor as well. If people were broke and impoverished and they are not getting the leadership to charge and change their circumstances, that would be the unfortunate bit. But they have the leadership that leads them to removing the main cause of their predicament, and that is the Museveni dictatorship. What is the solution? First of all, we must remove a regime that is not considering the well-being of the people, but looking solely on regime maintenance. You know how much? Do you know how much money Museveni uses every day? 2 billion shillings.
But also, you know, there have been empowerment programs for the people of Uganda.
Those are hoaxes. Those are lies. Those are, you know what Chiwani means? Those are biwanis. Those are hoaxes. Started from Mentandikwa, Bonaba Gagaware, now you have PDM and all that. All those are hoaxes. They are lies. You know, people don't need handouts. People need policies that would make them self-sustaining. You know, we are rich. We have a rich human resource which is not empowered at all. People are overtaxed. You know, that's why they keep running out of the country. See how many Ugandans leave the country every day to look for better, you know, pastures. Agriculture has fallen completely. The economy has been, you know, hijacked by a few elite, you know, who are connected to General Museveni and his family. So that and more is supposed to annoy the people and remove this dictatorship so we can be able to realign. You get my point? Our challenge has been poverty as juxtaposed to extravagance. See how extravagant those that rule over us are. Compare Anita Mongo's house and the Bukedea Health Center. You know, compare how many cars Museveni has as an individual running his office and how many ambulances we have in a country. Compare the money that is spent on security and weapons of destruction as juxtaposed to the budget in the healthcare sector. Compare the salaries of our teachers and their working conditions. So all that has to change. It only changes when we change the head, because the priorities.
And with this World Bank decision today, the government is saying we're going to cut expenditure. What are some of those areas you think we should be focusing on if we are to raise revenue by ourselves and don't have to do?
First of all, crack down on corruption. Crack down on corruption. According to URA records, we lose 10 trillion every year. We lose to corruption. Sorry?
We lose about 20 trillion.
You see, now I'm even underestimating it. 20 trillion lost to corruption. We know who the corrupt people are. We know who the thieves are. They went beyond stealing money. They even steal iron sheets. These are the people around Museveni. Crack down on corruption and channel that money to help the people. That is number one. You know. Number two, you know, realign on our expenditure. Why must we spend all that money on administration? See how many ministers we have. How many ministers did Obote or Amin have? See the presidential advisors, the RDCs. Now those that are in power, look at how their convoys move and how much money they spend. So just those two things alone can fundamentally alter our circumstances as the people of Uganda. Then invest in healthcare. Make sure our people don't die stupidly like they are dying. And others, like I said, I will take the whole program just talking about our solutions.
This whole issue of the World Bank decision remains a serious threat to this country and to the people that you lead, the people you want we are with them. Because many of the programs were supported by World Bank, nations and all that. Meaning Omuntu Wawansi will suffer as a result of World Bank, not giving
money. They stole it. Museveni and these people. Remember what happened to the Gavi funds? Stole it, Museveni and these people. You know what happens to the money that comes in to support refugees? Stolen. Okay? The only difference is that they've been stealing the funds that we borrow, which funds you and your child, me and my child and our grandchildren are going to pay. They've been stealing it. Now they're stealing taxpayers' money. In any case, they've been stealing 20 trillion of taxpayers' money annually. So, the Muntu Wawansi has been suffering and will continue to suffer because these are thieves. Okay? And I'm being blunt because that is what they are. These are thieves. The international funds were not helping us anyway because they were being lost in corruption. And those that were not lost in corruption were being used to subjugate us. Myself and my team, we are moving nation to nation, organization to organization, asking them to stop funding Museveni's regime. We are happy that they're stopping. We also want them to put sanctions on them. We want to weaken the Museveni regime, I repeat it. And we can weaken him. One way of weakening him is to make sure that they don't sponsor his killing. The guns that kill us are given by Americans. The money that he uses to buy people to compromise those that are speaking the truth against him is given from abroad. Museveni is an agent of neocolonialism, is an agent of foreigners. So we are asking them to stop sponsoring killing, to stop sponsoring that regime of national shame. They are stopping and we appreciate. We want them to even put sanctions.